What up? Back with another week. NBA talk, fly free sports, man. Me and Ben, we riding. He been riding shotgun today. Let's get
Yeah,
this
man.
done, man. Let's get it
Yeah, let's
done.
do it.
Ben. Yes, sir. How you feeling, Ben?
I'm good, man. Just glad to be off work. It was a long day today.
Hey, you gotta for the people, real quick. You gotta tell them the story about the facial hair, real quick. You gotta tell them. You
Yeah,
gotta tell them.
okay. So what had happened was, so my wife, your sister, she wanted to do Halloween matching costumes. So she was like, "Hey, we got a party on Saturday. Let's be Ike and Tina." I was like, "All right, cool. There ain't no problem with that." So I bought like the bowl cut wig. I got the shades. I even got a custom shirt that says "Eat the cake" on it. Like I'm ready to roll, right? So I was like, okay, I need to cut my facial hair to match like what he looked like in the movie. So I was like, okay, I got to trim to the mustache with the soul patch and then underneath.
Oh,
Well, I cut my mustache too damn short. So now, and it's not long enough. So now I look like D'Artagnan. So I don't know. But listen, it's Halloween season. Buy
hey,
extra Three Musketeers for me. Okay.
like
That's all I got to
once
say.
the wig go on, like they ain't gonna.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It don't
It'll
matter.
be fine.
Yeah, it's cool.
It it'll be fine. I'm even my daughter, she got a little plastic piece of cake I'm gonna be carrying around with me the whole time. It's gonna be great. But
Shout out
I'm
to Alexis.
yes, yeah, Alexa's coming through in the clutch with the toys, but yeah, yeah, as soon as all that's over, I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. Because this
It'll
is
go
not
back.
gonna
It'll
work.
go back fast. It'll go
Yeah,
back
it
fast.
will. It will. I just trim it down and hope nobody notices.
For sure. Yeah, man. So yeah, we're gonna jump into this NBA talk, of course. Man, wild couple nights
Hmm.
for the first couple nights of the season. I got my own thoughts because I was, I'm a little bit, if I'm gonna be honest, man, I'm a little perturbed today. Like I didn't
Yeah.
like what I saw last night from my team, but I'll get into that a little bit more.
Hmm.
Um, so I just wanted to ask you real quick, man, what was
Yeah.
your biggest takeaway from the first couple nights of the season?
I think for me the biggest takeaway was the Nuggets pulling out the win on opening night. People say, "What do you mean? They're the defending champs and LeBron had minute restriction." But I didn't take the time to look this up ahead of time. But the record of teams on opening night winning after a ring ceremony, I know there's been a lot of examples in the recent past of teams getting blown out
Hmm.
in the ring
Didn't the Warriors
ceremony.
lose did they
I,
lose their first game the other year?
I believe they did. I distinctly remember. I remember multiple examples from like the Heat when Shaq was there, the ring ceremony, they got blown out.
Yep.
There have been a lot of recent examples of teams
Yep.
losing badly, and the fact that yeah, and the Nuggets they went on a big run in the first half, and the Lakers started clawing back,
Hmm.
and they were able to pull out the win in the end. To
Yeah.
me, that was way more impressive than what it looks like on paper.
Hmm.
And it really validates a lot of the picks that we made a couple weeks ago. Like the Nuggets are for real,
Yeah.
and
Straight out the gate.
yeah, they're for real. Like this is not it's not a fluke. Like
Straight out
they are
the
the
gate.
team to beat in the West.
Yeah, for a fact. Like it really it hit home quick because like in that game, like you said, they went on that big run and the Lakers clawed back into it. But
Hmm.
every time the Lakers clawed back, they always hit them with another run. It was
Yep.
one of those games where I felt like every time the Lakers are coming back, I know for a fact the Nuggets are gonna have a run. Whether Malone
Hmm.
calls a timeout when they get back to it or whatever. I
Yep.
just never felt like that game was in question as much as it got down to like I think four. I think it got down to like 4 or 5 at one point.
Hmm. Yep.
But it was like, even then, I'm like, they're gonna extend the lead again and pull away eventually.
Yeah. I learned something I didn't know, and you probably knew this, but the coach of the Nuggets, his father was Brendan Malone, he was a key counterpart in building the defenses for the Bad Boys back in the 80s.
I didn't even know
Um,
that.
I found that I learned that today when I was doing some research on the game.
Hmm.
And he just passed away recently. So, but it's like okay, you can see the influence there in
Right.
terms of how they play on the defensive end. You can kind of see the influence there. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, no, I thought that was kind of the biggest takeaway. I think also what was interesting to me was um there's basically a pitch count on LeBron to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
I found that to be very interesting because he's not coming off of an injury in the offseason.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And don't think I forgot. You got like 9 more games for your
I did
prediction to
say
come
that, didn't
true.
I? I
Yeah,
did say that. You know
I'm
what?
not that
They
I'm
heard me.
waiting on his injury. I ain't waiting on him to get hurt. I'm just saying, like, I want this to happen to get my lotto tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nobody's wishing injury on LeBron, but they heard me and they know, right? Like that's the wise thing to do
yeah,
is to kind of bring him in slowly because even goats die. Father Time is still undefeated. No one has found a way to beat him yet. So
yep,
it's this is important things that they're doing. The problem is it's clear that team really needed LeBron down the stretch. And the quote that he kind of said afterwards, like, well, we got a process, so I guess I got to follow it. That is very uncharacteristic of LeBron to say something like that.
right. Because
And
usually he's running the show. I mean, it's his show, but I
right.
think this is one of those instances where they're trying to protect him from himself. They're trying to save him from himself.
Oh yeah,
Like,
what they're doing makes perfect sense.
Right. If you let him go out there and just do what he want to do, then that risk increases. So
Right.
they don't want that to happen.
The other thing though, it's important for people to know LeBron doesn't say anything by accident. Right.
Right.
Everything that he says, there's a reason behind it and it's carefully constructed. So my take on this is watching LeBron, 1,000 press conferences, 1,000 interviews. LeBron is already setting up a scapegoat if they start losing or if they start the loss, right? Oh, it's a process. I guess I got to follow it. So automatically now,
right.
it's
It's
not
going to
my
be in
fault.
somebody's mind. Right. Right.
Right. He has already laid the foundation for that narrative and to push that narrative forward. And he's going to use that as leverage to get what he wants, which is at this point obviously more playing time. He said he wants to be out there. You suit up and you start on the NBA team to play as many minutes as you can.
Right.
Nobody goes out there and says, "Hey, I'll do my 25 minutes and I'll be fine."
Right. The thing with LeBron is though, is like you don't even have to be the guy to set up the scapegoat though. Like they've been doing that for LeBron his entire career. If you think about any time like his team start losing, oh, it's got to be Blot or it's got to be T. Lue or it's got to be, they throw out even it was Chris Bosh for a minute. Like,
yeah.
Then they started throwing Mario Chalmers under the bus. It's like he never takes the brunt of the blame, as far as I can see. I mean, he has his share of, blame.
Yeah.
But it's like his fans specifically. I'll say that.
Yeah.
They always scapegoat somebody else.
And we've talked about this. He's already a media darling, right? So
for a fact.
But the problem is that he doesn't see it that way, right? This is the typical egomaniac that overplays his hand, right? You see it over and over and over again. Even though he's already getting the benefit of a doubt from the media. What was it a couple years ago when they won a championship? He was like, "It's time for me to get my damn respect." Like,
yeah.
Like
nigga, you already got right. Yeah, like what are you talking about? Like he got it. It's in his head that these niggas don't respect me. Like, what do you?
Like, you got 5 championships. You just did Space Jam. There's no more validation you could possibly get than that.
He ain't tired.
4. Sorry, I apologize.
We ain't putting him on Kobe Bean Mountain. Like we not doing that. No.
I apologize. But you did Space Jam. Like how? There's no higher validation you can get than what he's had. Like what else can possibly happen for you to feel respected, right?
And that's a good point. I think Space Jam solidified him, if you ask me. Like, 'cause that to me, that's just disrespect to Mike. But that's a whole nother topic for another time. Like, I don't know why. And I tried, like, literally, it's funny you bring that up too, because the other night I tried to watch Space Jam. It was like 1 a.m. and Kanzi threw it on.
Yeah,
I fell asleep about 10 minutes into it, maybe not even.
I've never seen the second one, so
me either. I saw 10 minutes of it and it was a wrap. It was done. So
I don't see that as disrespect to Jordan. I just see that as Warner Brothers trying to make more money. That's what that is.
I get
They're
it.
trying to keep the franchise alive. That's whatever.
I get it. I don't fuck with LeBron, so that to me is, anything negative I could say, I'm gonna say it.
Touche, touche,
How you
touche.
feel about AD though? He was
Yeah, I think yeah, Houston, we have a problem, or LA, we have a problem. Actually, I can't even say we have a problem because this is vintage AD.
Yep.
What you saw is just sporadic play. So I was there's a YouTuber, Chisel Adonis. He was live streaming. The game wasn't viewable on his channel, but he was live streaming while the game was on.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "All right, game just started. I'm gonna set the over under AD falling down at 2."
Oh shit. You could
Like,
you could play a drinking game to his shit.
like just he's falling down, he's limping, like, I think the first 5 minutes of the game he had to go and get treatment on his hand or something. Like,
His hand was bleeding or some shit. It's
what?
like
Dude, Humpty Dumpty, sit your ass down. Like,
Mr.
what is going
Glass.
on? Oh my god. Yeah,
Horrible.
so this is and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The man and called out 2 out of 5 days the last 4 years. So, this is vintage AD.
It's par for the course.
It is, and it's got to be difficult for all the Lakers fans out there. This has to be really infuriating to know the potential that you have in him and knowing that he's never going to live up to it.
No, if he ain't lived up to it by now, what is AD, like 31?
Yeah, he's in his 30s now. Like, there's no such thing as late bloomers in basketball. Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, you're declining. By the time you get to 31, 32, it's either steady or you're declining. There's no
Right.
improvements being made.
Yeah, this ain't golf where you can hit a resurgence in your 40s. Like,
No.
nah, bro, this is basketball. You already been playing basketball 25 years if you're 30 years old. So
right.
No.
Yeah, I'm just, and like I said about the Lakers coming into the year, I just wasn't impressed. I hear people saying, "Oh, they made all these additions," and I'm like, "What additions? Are you talking about Gabe Vincent or what are we talking about?" You still got D'Angelo Russell, who out there like a chicken with the head cut off.
Yeah,
you got Austin Rivers. I guess he's gonna be okay. I mean, he's probably like the third option, but I think out of everybody else on the team, he's probably the best player. Hachimura, I think he was a flash in the pan. I don't really see him doing much this year. I'm just unimpressed. And I heard all this stuff in the offseason about how they were going to be so much better, so much improved. Like, I don't see it. I never saw it.
They've got a great their young core is good. Like Austin Reeves, he is that, like, he's that Chandler Parsons type glue guy that
right.
He's that great, like you said, third option, second unit, can go off in second quarter, keep the team in the game. I like his game. I like how he plays. He's kind of free flowing. Like, I like his game, but when your best player is 39 years old, it's going to be a long road, and things aren't going to change. If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Right.
So you're only going to go as limited. Yeah, you're only going to go as far as those 39-year-old knees and ankles are going to take you.
Yep. Agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, so I don't get it. I don't get it with them. But my biggest takeaway, and it's probably gonna sound crazy, and I spoke about this yesterday on my little Grizzly stream. First and foremost, I'm very upset. I'm not happy. I'm not happy, and it's specifically with one person, and I want him gone.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it's there. It's up. Like, it's all the way through the ceiling. Like, and I promise myself, I'm not even the type to have knee-jerk reactions to things. Like, I like to see things play out, and I like to gather as much information as I can before I jump off the bridge. But it's got to be said, Jaren Jackson Jr. I don't know what we can do to move him. I got an idea. Didn't really look into if the salaries match or anything, but even to start it off, I came into the year saying I sincerely hope that he gets better rebounding the ball. Said that. This nigga comes out open tonight and grabs 4 rebounds, 4 or 5 rebounds? Unacceptable. There shouldn't be a game out of the 82 game season where this nigga grabs 4 or 5 rebounds. Like, there's no
Especially
way.
when Steven Adams is out
It's
and
not
you are
there.
the primary big man. Yeah, that's
It's Steven Adams not even there.
right.
So even more of a reason for you to go harder on the glass. Like, I just
Right.
don't understand it. Then you couple that in with his horrible shot selection. He just wants to jack up threes. You're not that great of a 3-point shooter. You can hit them. I don't mind if you're shooting them in rhythm.
Mhm.
But if that's what you just prefer to do, you just jacking up threes, that don't work for me, man. Like, he's just low IQ basketball. He just sloppy. You know, he still got the foul problem, committing stupid ass fouls all game. It's just like, it's just redundant. And that's why I say I don't want people to think this is like a knee-jerk reaction. This is not based off one game. This is a
Right.
pattern. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Like, this is a pattern. Now, I want to trade him. Just take a wild guess who I want to trade him for. I know it's kind of
Ooh.
hard. There's a lot of players in the league. But what
I
makes
mean,
sense?
the player that immediately came to mind was Porzingis.
No.
But I mean, the salaries probably don't work.
I want Pascal Siakam on the Memphis
Okay.
Grizzlies. That's who I want
That's
on
a
the
great
Memphis
fit.
Grizzlies. Yes, man. Perfect. I don't mind losing a little bit on the defensive end. If it's gonna get us better looks in the half court, I don't mind that at all. Like, I don't mind. I know Pascal Siakam is a consistent scorer. He's a high IQ player. He even plays a little bit of defense. Like,
Yeah.
I will give up defensive player of the year, just for all the weak side blocks that he got. I mean, it's not like he's just blocking guys straight up one-on-one. Like, he's not a great on-ball defender. So I can give up the
Right.
weak side, defense for a better half-court situation. That's just me.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if their salaries match. Like I said, I didn't look it up or anything, but that's the guy who I want on Memphis.
Yeah, I think he would be a really good fit there. I mean, great call. No arguments there. I think it is kind of disappointing because in your mind, based on your rant tonight, Triple J has reached that kind of Dylan Brooks level of contempt for you.
I wouldn't go that far, but he getting there.
Because you hated that nigga.
I still do, but like, I wouldn't say it's there, but
Right.
I think it's more frustrating because he's so much more talented than Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
So I think that's what pisses me off more. Dylan Brooks is just fucking garbage. So we could just throw him to the
Right.
wolves. I don't give a damn about Dylan Brooks, but Jaren Jackson has so much potential, man. He has so much talent. It's like, why can't you just get it, man? Like, I don't understand. It's just some guys just don't have it upstairs, man. Like, that's my problem with him.
Yeah, I think well, with Ja not being there, the Grizzlies really lack a lot of identity in terms of their style of play, particularly on offensive end. And that's just a huge absence when you have a player that dynamic and can take over the game the way that he does.
Right.
And we're not even talking about like scoring, just his ability to create opportunities. Like he's the one guy on the floor that controls what the other 9 people are
Right.
doing.
He's the engine. He's the engine.
Yeah. He controls all 9 players, not just the people on his team. And there's very few players that are able to do that.
But you let these fucking morons out here tell it, oh, we're better without Ja. The Grizzlies are better without Ja. Like, it's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life.
It's, so anyway, they really lack an identity with him not being there. And, it's gonna take time. You got, you have a vet, Derrick Rose, very good player coming in, but it's gonna take time for the offense to kind of adjust to having, Derrick run it. Right. So there's, this everything is cooking in the oven still. It's going to take time for things to kind of gel like it's supposed to.
And I don't have a problem with that. I just want our guys to be our guys. And Desmond Bain showed up. I predicted that he would have over 30 yesterday. He had 31.
Yep.
I'm not worried about him at all. Like, he got his money. I'm happy he got his money. We ready to rock with Desmond Bain. But Jaren Jackson is that third piece, man. It's like we're waiting. And how long do we have to wait till you come out of this shell, that whatever this shell is that you're in? Like, It's just frustrating, man. I'm tired of looking at him at this point. Like, I want him gone. He was the only guy that was really pissing me off last night. I mean, Derrick Rose didn't have a great game. He was kind of off from the floor. Marcus Smart played pretty well, offensively and defensively. He played pretty well. Like, guys didn't play horrible. We had like a horrible quarter in the second quarter, but that was about it. Outside of that, we were okay.
Yeah.
Aside from Jaren Jackson, so shit just pissed me off, man. I've been mad all day about it.
I'm glad you had a chance to get off your chest.
Man, I think we play Denver next too.
Yeah, well, it's a long season, right? So every team is going to go through their ups and downs. Every team's going to go with runs and slumps. Except for the Hornets, they're going to be terrible all year. That's
the Hornets. Not the Hornets. I took remember last week I said the Hornets would be the 6th seed in the East. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I think
they won yesterday.
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of challenges that persist with that organization. But I hope they'll be okay.
They're young. I mean,
they are young. They're going to have issues.
But
I think the other thing I wanted to talk about, the takeaways from the season was, I think it's going to be important that we pump the brakes on the Wembanyama situation. I think it's, it's not time to anoint the kid yet, and I'm not basing that just off of one game. It's there's the talent clearly is there, right?
Right.
It's very obvious, but all the talk about him being like the greatest player since LeBron and all that.
Oh yeah, I was never I think he's going to be very, very good. But putting those kind of proclamations on somebody is like,
I don't. There's not any. First of all, I watched LeBron's first game in the NBA, and watching that game, you could see what everybody was talking about, right? I mean, he didn't go out and get 50, but you could see just the confidence with which he played, the level of maturity that he had,
played at a different speed than everybody.
Yes, his understanding, he was playing like he had been in the league for years, right? So you could see it. You could see how, okay, he's got weaknesses in his game and that he identified those, was able to correct and work on those. He was a very self-aware player. Obviously character-wise, no questions there at all. You could see it watching him. And this is the most, LeBron at the time, I think, was the most hyped player in the history of basketball.
He was coming in. He was for sure.
The spotlight has never been brighter on any person other than LeBron.
I'm curious to see those ratings for that game, that his first NBA game against the Kings.
Through the roof.
Yeah, I know, because I was a Kings fan at the time, so I for sure was watching it. That was like a double for me.
Yeah, I think they were broadcasting his high school games.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, so it's like
I got one on VHS tape. I still got one of his games on VHS. I recorded it when it came on ESPN. I forgot who they was playing, but St. Vincent, St. Mary's. Yeah, I was recording the games and all that.
So but he lived up, and that's why I give LeBron props for being the great player that he is, because he legitimately lived up to all of that hype that he was given. I think he legitimately lived up to all of it.
He did.
So I give him his credit for playing under that amount of pressure and responding to it the way that he has. I don't take anything away from him as far as that's concerned. Wembanyama he is one of those guys. He's a great talent. I think it's too early to say that he's a generational talent. Now the great thing that he's got going for him is that organization. He's in a fantastic organization that is eager to build around him, and they're going to, if anyone can get the most out of that player and that situation, it's the San Antonio Spurs, right? So yeah, he's got a bright future ahead of him. Let's pump the brakes.
I feel like, I think he played well last night though. He didn't play a lot of minutes because he got in foul trouble, but he played pretty well. He was efficient. I think he was 6 for 9 or something like that from the floor.
Yeah. The talent is obvious.
Yeah.
let's pump the brakes, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not going to be great. I'm not saying he's a bust. Let's just
I
pump the
agree.
brakes.
But Pop, he would Pop, like you said. Pop will get him right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw something. It was showing. It was a graphic. It was Greg Popovich. He's been with the Spurs, I think, 27 years. He's been the Spurs coach.
28.
So they show like the San Antonio Spurs. Okay, in the last 27 years, the Spurs have had one coach. The other teams combined have had like 300 coaches.
That's wild. That's insanity.
300 individual people.
That's crazy. And the
Man.
funny thing, I expected Pop to retire. Like once they got, once Duncan and all them left, I expected him to retire, but he stayed. He held it down. Rough seasons. But they come in, they on their way back though with Vassell and Wemby and them. Like,
I think
it's
he might. Popovich might be one of those like Joe Paterno type guys where it's like,
oh man, don't say that.
I'm not like that. Not like that. I'm saying it like what I mean is when all the stuff went down and Paterno was forced out, he died like 6 months later. Right. And this man was an 80-something years old, great health, loved the game of football. But as soon as the game was taken away from him, he died. Like that's literally all he was living for. To me, Popovich is like one of those guys. He'll still be coaching in his 80s. As soon as he can't do it anymore, he'll die. Because that's just I'm living for this now, right? Belichick is another guy. Like, dude, he'll be coaching it into his 80s if they let him. And
the season the Patriots having, they might force his ass out the door the way the Patriots playing this year. Ugh.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think the bond that he has with Kraft is too strong for that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, man.
They are playing terrible.
Yeah, they are horrible. What's this? Dame time. Milwaukee up 50-37 right now over Philadelphia. I told y'all Joel Embiid is trash. I'm looking at it right now. He had the free throw line too. Watch, clink. Yep, he missed it too. Yeah, I'm always right. I'm right about every. Like, come on, man. Yeah. So we spoke about Philly last week. I don't expect too much from them. I don't even think James Harden is he coming back to the team?
Is he playing? I heard he's holding out or missing.
I don't know what to say. I guess his version of holding out. I guess I don't know, but he's not playing though.
Holding out for what?
I don't think he want to be there. He got into it with Daryl Morey. He said he don't trust Daryl Morey no more. So it's like,
but he was there when you came. Like you,
right? Okay, and that's your guy. Like Daryl Morey is the reason why you're James Harden. Like he made you in Houston.
I thought that was the main draw why you wanted to go to the team in the first place. So,
right. It's always something with that nigga. He could quit. He'd take my ball and go home ass nigga. Like we don't rock with them type. Like,
man, look, he's gonna show up to the team 40 pounds overweight with nail polish on his fingers, like
looking like he got a fat suit on and shit. Like he's a bum.
I don't know, man. Like it's these guys are just like I don't know what's up with these emo ass basketball players. Like
it's a new generation, man.
Like just crystals and just these Erykah Badu ass like like can we just be men and play basketball, right? Like this sport is not complicated. There's nothing complicated about this sport at all. You don't have to come in with a blowout. You don't have to come in with
fucking bell bottoms on
and talking about whatever random shit that Kyrie's talks about, and like
they doing too much. In short, they doing way too fucking much. But yeah,
you're already famous. You already got all the hoes. You got millions of dollars. You got the city eating at the palm of your hand. Like just stop overplaying your hand. Why can't you just be happy being a pimp in a major city, making lots of money, doing what the sport you've been playing since you were 5 years old? Like, why is that not enough for y'all? I don't understand.
It's the new generation, man. They need something else to cling on to. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, and it's crazy because remember they had the dress code when Allen Iverson started wearing all the baggy shit and everybody started dressing crazy. They had the dress code, but now these niggas dress feminine and it's cool. Like, they don't want to go
Right.
back to the suits or whatever the dress code was. Like now they just allow it. So that just shows you what kind of agenda may be being pushed here.
Yeah,
Possibly.
it's yeah. I am. It is upsetting that that society is devaluing
Men.
men and the benefits that masculinity brings, right?
Yes.
And my sister and I talked about this a couple years ago when the war first broke out in Ukraine. We were talking, okay, we have all of this modern feminism and equal rights, but there are currently no feminists in Ukraine, right? Right now, you
Right.
can walk the streets of Ukraine, you're not going to find any feminists, right? Whatever ones were there left with the rest of the women and the children on the trains in the damn Poland, right?
And they in the NBA now.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like but when it's time for war, when shit is going down, you look to the men to step up and to hold you down, right? When your house is on fire, you don't want 4 women firefighters to come in and save you. Y'all are
No.
dead. You
Now you getting
right.
saved by a nigga who coming in blowing his nails.
What is
Like,
going
I don't
on?
want this nigga to save me from the fire. I'd rather die. Get out.
I'm just
So I tell the nigga,
yeah.
out of here, man. Shit. I'd rather die than have this nigga save me.
Yeah, so I think but the problem is that the world this country in general is so safe and has been preserved in a certain level of safety and prosperity for so long that the safeguards is put in place and the type of jobs that we need are taken for granted, right? So I work in the collision repair industry. And one of the biggest challenges that we're facing is a lack of talent. There aren't young men coming into the program to learn how to do these type of very essential blue collar jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And as expensive as cars are now, people are driving their older cars longer, which means they need to be serviced more frequently. And it's a longer wait time to try to get service because we don't have enough mechanics and collision repair people
Right.
that are able to perform this work. So you get even a minor fender bender, it's 2 to 3 months before you get your car back because of the queue that they have, because we don't have enough men coming in working these jobs. And I say men because we know women aren't going to come into this industry and work these jobs.
Right.
Because people have free choice, and women overwhelmingly choose jobs that are comfortable in air conditioning. And hey, no problem. Hey, that's me too. I'm in white collar all my life. I know why you picked the job. Same reason why I picked the job, because I don't like working outside. Right. But my point is we need to continue the effort to celebrate men being men and celebrate masculinity and the benefits that it bestows upon us.
Those
Right.
days
And
is gone, sadly.
but we need to celebrate, like, shout out to the men that help me maintain this house. Shout out to the plumbers that come in when there's a problem that I can't fix. Shout out to the electricians that come in and fix things that I'm unable to fix.
The
Shout
plumbers,
out to go ahead.
the plumbers that Bob Cousy and them was playing against. JJ Redick said they was playing against plumbers. Shout out to the plumbers, man.
Listen, the plumbers was making more than NBA players back then, so I don't know that they were plumbers. but yeah, we get his point. But I want the men to know that don't allow society to shame you for being a man, right? Don't allow society to shame you because you want to wear a goatee, or you want to work a blue collar job and get your hands dirty, right? That you're not lesser of a person or of a lower social status or lower importance if you work on a damn oil rig. Like we need you.
Right.
My car runs on gas. I don't know what y'all cars run on. My
Right.
shit runs on gas. I need all y'all niggas is working in the gas industry to make sure I can keep gas in my car.
Yep.
Right. So it's I just it's okay for men to be men. And here's the secret. As much as we're promoting this hyper feminist agenda and we want to embrace and make it okay for men to not be men, as much as women may say that they want that, they don't want that.
No.
Women don't want women do not want to be in long-term relationships with men who prioritize being in touch with their feelings. They don't really want. They say that they do, but
Right.
men like that don't typically aren't in high paying jobs. They're typically not driven, which means that they don't have great income. They don't have a lot of resources, and they're going to compete and battle with you over domestic abilities and not be willing to do the things that you don't want to do, right? Because if a man is just in touch with his feelings all the time, and like you talked about this on one of your on one of your episodes, if there's a strange noise in the house, that woman can say all she wants that she's equal to you, but guess who she's going to expect to get up and take care of it, right?
Facts. Been
So
there many times.
yeah, and it's like, but again, we're not afraid. We are men who aren't afraid to be men, and we
Right.
know that's our job,
Right.
right? When a flying cockroach gets in the house, as terrified as I am of them, I can't go to Tashina and say, "Hey, can you get that for me?" No, it's
Right.
that's me. If an animal gets in the house of any kind,
It's
that's
your
on me.
job. Yeah.
No, there's not a discussion. We don't have to debate and negotiate like who take. No, that's me, bro. Like,
Right. Yeah. So, to bring this full circle, you NBA niggas got to stop being hoes. I think basically that was the gist of what Ben was trying to tell y'all.
yeah, pretty much. Stop being hoes.
There you have it. So yeah, man. Getting back to the basketball, I wanted to ask you something.
Mhm.
Who is your favorite NBA player of all time, and why are they your favorite NBA player?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question. Um because I'm somewhat of a contrarian in that the cop out answer here is Michael Jordan, right? I'm over 40
Yeah.
years old.
Right.
I, it's hard for anyone that watched Michael Jordan play to say that that's not their favorite player, right? So that's kind of the obvious answer. So I didn't want to give like an obvious answer, but
Right.
for me, if I'm not choosing Michael Jordan, I think I would still pick this person anyway. It's a little kid from Louisiana by the name of Joe Dumars. Now, for those unfamiliar with Joe Dumars, um, Joe Dumars lived in great irony because he was legitimately one of the nicest people that you would ever meet on this planet. And he was possibly the first or second best player on the most physically evil team in the history of
Yes.
they were literally called
Yes.
the Bad Boys.
Yes.
And he was one of the nicest people you would ever meet playing for one of the most like legitimately evil teams in
Right. Nigga
NBA
played with
history.
Bill Laimbeer and
Yes, Bill
John
Laimbeer, Rick
Sally.
Mahorn, and John Sally was a nice guy, but
But they,
um,
like you said with Joe Dumars, though, you couldn't tell. You come in that paint, him and Laimbeer is a fight gonna break out for sure. Like,
yeah, but yeah, so but here's why he's my favorite. There's a lot of reasons. I think firstly, um, he was always a very mild mannered, soft spoken person. He let his game speak for itself. He's not really well known and honestly very underrated in terms of the impact that he had on the league. I mean, the Sportsmanship Award is named after him. That's the level of sportsmanship that he displayed throughout his career that they named the award after him. Um, I believe he was the executive when the Pistons won their
yeah,
championship in
he was.
2004.
Yep.
So he's been with that. He had been with that organization a long time. He is, I believe, a career 50% shooter, which is for a shooting guard is
Unheard of.
extremely rare.
Yeah, it's unheard of. Michael Jordan's career percentage is like 49.7 or some shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Career 50% shooter.
And
Just a
Dumars is
very
like 6'3", 6'2".
Yeah, he wasn't 6'3", 6'4". He wasn't
Yeah,
a big guard by any
right.
means. But just very efficient player. Um, he Dumars could drop a quiet 47. Like he could just he's one of those guys you look at the box score like, damn, Dumars at 47.
Yeah,
But because he was so efficient, he didn't need a lot of shots to
right.
get to 47. And he
Yep.
was, I believe, in 89, he was the finals MVP, I think, in 89. One of those years he actually won the finals MVP. But it's like you look back and it's like, damn, Joe Dumars was a finals MVP. But you watch them games, yes, Joe Dumars
Joe
was the
Dumars is
best player on
true.
the court that series. The thing though that really makes him special to me is he is the one person that came the closest to being able to individually defend Michael Jordan effectively. Jordan himself said that Dumars was the best defender that he ever played against. And so that's, to me, to get that kind of praise from, you know, to me, there's no argument. The greatest basketball player to ever put, Larry Bird called him God in shorts, right? So his defensive prowess and just his game was so understated. There was nothing flashy about it, but he just had sound fundamentals. He just played efficiently offensively. He was just a very smart lockdown defender on the defensive side. And he was just the ultimate sportsman. He was just a great role model for all NBA players and
Mhm.
guards. Just an ambassador in the league all the way around. Like I said, he retired, became an executive, helped orchestrate another championship for the organization, which is very rare for retired players to be able to ascend to those levels
Mhm.
and have those accomplishments. Just an all-around great person, one of the most underrated NBA players of all time. So yeah, my favorite player is Joe Dumars.
That's a solid answer, man. And it's something you won't hear too often, but Joe Dumars was a killer. He was
Yeah.
a killer. Yes, he was, man. I did my due diligence. When they were winning championships, I was what 2-3 years old.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I'm a basketball. Just a sports head, so
Mhm.
I do my due diligence on everybody, man. And Joe
Yeah.
Dumars was one of them guys, man, for sure. So I respect that to the utmost. As far as mine, I make no mistake about it. Everybody knows my favorite player all time is Allen Iverson.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's like, what can I say, man? When AI was drafted, I probably was about 10 years old. But when he hit like his like super duper stardom, like in what I say, when they made it to the NBA Finals, what 2000?
2001.
Yeah, 2001. Around that time, I was a teenager. Being a
Mhm.
teenager, influenced by Allen Iverson, man, he made me get braids. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like he shifted an entire culture, man. It was just one of the
Mhm.
most beautiful things to see, man. Him just being himself, thriving in his own, his own way.
Mhm.
That was everything to me. Like, and I used to watch AI at Georgetown. I liked him at Georgetown. I'm a UConn fan, so I couldn't,
Mhm.
go too hard. I'm with Ray Allen and them.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, man, Allen Iverson was that guy, man. I'm talking about motor like none other, man. He gonna play through injuries. He's gonna give it 100 every time he step on the floor. He's not gonna cheat the game. People like to say, "Oh, he a chucker, man," but shit, who he playing with? He got Eric Snow in the backcourt with him. Like, what do you mean? Like, he playing with Matt Geiger and fucking George Lynch, and come on, bro. Like, what y'all want him to do, man? He
Right.
is the system. He's the machine. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, it sickened me, man, when they lost to the Lakers in that finals. I was sick. After game one, I was like, oh shit, okay, my boy about to get a ring. Even though we knew, because the Lakers hadn't lost a game that entire playoff run until that game one of the finals. So, we knew the Lakers were gonna win, but it was like, yo, getting that game 1, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. AI might not be having it, but of course, we all know they didn't win another game in that damn series, and it crushed me. Like, that shit crushed me, man. Like, that whole run for me was that's what sent it over the moon for me. Like, I was already an AI fan, years prior, but that has sent it over the moon. Watching him go head up with Vince Carter in that playoff run, head up with Sam, because it was a Milwaukee big dog and Ray Allen in the conference finals. Shit was everything for me, man. So yeah, Allen Iverson, man. Big shout out to Bubba Chuck, man. Nobody like him, man. Nobody like him since before then. Period, man. That's my guy, man. Number 3.
AI was he was one of them dogs, man. Like, just indomitable will to win. As a competitor, like, I remember, so my roommate, we were watching, there's some big, I think it was a big playoff game. He played like 45 or 46 minutes. And after the game, he was like hyping up the crowd and like yelling at the crowd and stuff. He was like, that dude just played 46 minutes in the playoffs, and he got energy to be like hyping up the crowd and all
Still
that.
got gas in the tank.
Like, do you know how exhausted any other human would be?
And everybody know AI play at a different speed too. Like, his 46 minutes is a little different from somebody else's 46 minutes. Like, he all over the place. He going off screens, running around screen. Like, he's doing a lot in them 46 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't care.
Lanes and everything. He's diving.
He is probably the most fearless guard, fearless NBA player I've ever seen. Like, even Shaq talked about, AI would come driving down the lane and he would lay him out. He would lay him out, but then he would keep doing it, and now Shaq's in foul trouble. So it's like, AI, it was the plan, right? We get you on the bench so that we can go win this game, and I'll put ice on my back later. But
facts, AI, man, like, it's just unquestionable, man. It's just like you said, that will. You just had a different type of will, man. Like, and I think that's a big reason why Ja Morant is my current favorite player. I see him in that same vein. Like, he don't give a damn. Like, he's going in. He just a little hyper athletic. He's like a hyper athletic version of Allen Iverson. Like, when he go in the lane, he not going in there to lay it up on you.
Right. He dunking on everybody.
Any and everybody. His mom's under there, his pops under there. Like, it don't matter. Grandma, you can get it too.
Nope.
Yeah. So I think those kind of guys always resonate with me, man. Like, the guys with the heart, man. Like, those are my favorite players, man. Like, my favorite players are more based off mentality than actual skill. These guys are highly skilled, no doubt, but the mentality, man, you can't buy that. You can't replicate it. It just is what it is, man. So shout out to them guys, man. Specifically AI, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna get into a segment that we did last week.
Oh man,
I stumped y'all. Yeah, buddy, you know what's coming.
Oh boy, here we go.
Rapid fire. We're gonna discuss them a little bit this time, though.
All right,
we're gonna discuss them. First one, Jason Kidd or Gary Payton?
Oh boy. Gotta go Gary Payton. Defense.
Ooh, okay.
Defense.
Okay.
I think Jason Kidd, is a better facilitator of the ball, but Gary Payton, I think, is a better individual player on both ends.
Who got a better shot?
Well, I mean, are we talking about first half of his career,
right?
Jason Kidd?
Because Jason Kidd, that's crazy. I think he's like top 10 in 3-pointers all time.
Yeah,
and everybody who knew Jason Kidd, he couldn't really shoot like that early in his career.
Yeah, he definitely added that later on in his career, but yeah, at the end of career, need a shot, Jason Kidd.
Oh yeah, Dallas Mavericks, Jason Kidd. Like, I'm talking about second stint, Dallas Mavericks, Jason Kidd.
Yeah. End of career, need a shot, Jason Kidd. End of career or any time in career, need a stop, Gary Payton.
Gary Payton, for sure. Like, and he changed that series around with the Bulls in '96 when he started guarding Mike. I mean, it was too late, but shout out to Gary Payton. I got Gary Payton too.
Yep.
for sure. I got the glove, man. The glove was another one of them guys, man. He'll talk shit for the whole 48 minutes too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let you know he killing you. Like
Right. Yep.
my type of players, man.
hmm
Dirk Nowitzki or
Okay.
Kevin Garnett.
Man. Man. KG, man. Defense.
Oh,
KG, defense. KG's a better defender. It's not easy though,
right.
because Dirk can take over a game in ways that KG can't, in my opinion.
That's why I got Dirk.
Individually. That's why you got Dirk.
Yep.
It's hard, man, but
I got Dirk. I got Dirk because, man, Dirk had one of the more impressive runs to a championship to me. Like, when you look at especially like the era that we were in at the time with the super team, LeBron and them over there, like for Dirk to go in there and win that type of championship with those older guys, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, Barea, man, like that to me, that spoke volumes on Dirk, man. And I always believed in Dirk even early in his career, but that kind of solidified him to me, man. And this the comparison I make with him and Kevin Garnett. Garnett was in Minnesota for a long time and couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
As great as he is, he just couldn't get over that hump in the West. So I think that's why I got Dirk.
Yeah, and when you talk about Dirk's run, what makes that even more special is all the adversity happened prior to that, right? So they had the epic collapse in what was it, 06 against the Heat.
Miami, yeah.
I think either the year before, or year after that, he won the MVP, but they lost. He got the number 1 seed.
They lost
in
to
the
Golden
first
State.
round, and then like the next day they gave him the MVP. Like,
yeah,
and then he went. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that put a cloud over Dirk for sure. I remember that. People were like, oh, they gave him MVP and he just got put out in the first round. Like, I remember that was a big thing.
So, and then all that happened. It's like, okay, well, he's the next Charles Barkley, right? Best player, never win a championship. And then he comes back and does that. Like, just special, man. Just special.
Yeah, man. Dirk is my guy, man. Charles Barkley or Karl Malone?
Oh, now I was a huge Barkley fan. I was a huge Barkley fan as a child. Gotta go with Barkley, man.
I knew you was going with Barkley.
Gotta go with Barkley, man. And I'm biased because even though I was growing up watching the Pistons, I always loved Charles Barkley and how unabashed he was. Like he just made no excuses, did not apologize for who he was or how he played. He was just always 100% authentic, in your face, say whatever was on his mind, didn't matter what it was. I always appreciated him. And I know that has nothing to do with like actual basketball stuff.
Yeah.
But I think so. Again, I don't think either one of them is great defensively.
No.
But I think Chuck is just more of a indomitable figure on the basketball court offensively than Karl Malone. Like he's more unstoppable.
Right. I think that's why I go with Chuck too, because I think at peak Barkley is better than peak Malone. Like,
yes,
I think they're so close to each other, like in terms of just overall career. But if I had to judge them based off of something, I think Barkley's peak was higher. So
yeah, and let's not forget, Barkley was the starting power forward on the Dream Team, not Malone.
Right.
And he was the leading scorer of that team in those Olympics, not Malone.
Facts. All facts.
So in case y'all debate it, I'm just gonna put that out there.
Two guys that Mike kept from getting rings, ironically.
Yes. Absolutely.
So what we got next? Ooh. I think I know where you're gonna go with this. Nick Van Exel or Damon Stoudemire?
Ooh, man. Both of them are killers. Both of them are killers. Oh,
Mighty Mouse or Nick Van Exel?
That is so hard, man. I'm gonna go with Nick Van Exel though.
That's what I thought you would go with.
I think the clutch factor edges him just a little bit. Tips the scales a little bit for me. Is just the in the clutch factor.
Right. You know, when I do these, I try to match them up so evenly to the point where it's
Yeah.
like you got to pick one thing that sets the other person over the top.
Yeah.
So for me, in this case, it's just like the flair that Nick played with. He played with a different type of flair than Stoudemire did. Like they're like talent wise, they're on the same.
Yeah.
They're in the same stratosphere, but that flair Nick played with puts it over the top for me.
Yeah, but if you're looking for like a cornerstone point guard to build your team around, is Damon Stoudemire.
Yeah.
But you know, you need a bucket right now, Nick Van
Oh
Exel.
yeah. Nick the quick baby.
Yeah.
Ooh, another good one. Tony Parker or Steve Nash. We're gonna see what you value more
Oh
on
my
this one.
God. Oh.
What you value more. This is a what you
Oh
value more.
man. Shit. Oh. Because one of them is just a stone cold killer. The other one is one of the great floor generals we've ever seen at point guard. And two-time MVP. Oh, that's hard. That is hard. Damn. I gotta go with Steve Nash, man. I gotta go with Steve. Just the intangibles, like I said, floor general. Just what they were able, what his presence on that Suns team, those Suns teams, and the Suns teams maxed out their potential because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They they had players that were good individually. You know, the system they were running was decent, but they had no business being that good. And Steve Nash got the most out of every one of those players.
Right.
Tony Parker is not to be slept on
At all.
any,
Tony Parker is one of them guys, man, for real. Big
Tony
moments.
Yes. Parker and Ginobili, to me, is second only to Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars as
I remember
the
you
greatest
said that
backcourt of all time. Like it's just like is those are the two. There's no other backcourt in NBA history as good as those two.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. And the edge really to Thomas and Dumars is defensively. They're much better defensive pair, but offensive offensive guards, Parker Ginobili, you can't touch that.
I got Steph and Clay, but you know, we could that's another debate for another
see,
time.
But it's Clay ain't even a guard, really. So I don't even know if I want to
Clay is a
count.
2. Clay is a 2. Clay, he's a legit 2 guard.
Man, your old 6'10" ass.
Man, Clay like 6'6", 6'7".
You better play small forward like you're supposed to, Clay. But no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Splash Brothers. That's hard to beat.
Man, what was it? I had Steve Nash as well. I just think those Suns teams you spoke on them, man. They kind of ushered in this like this running shit, like running up the running the floor, running up the score. Like they were like the first offense to like really break into that mold, like where they were just going. Like it was almost like a level of like positionless basketball, but even though those guys did have, they had Stoudemire in the middle, but I mean, he even him, he's like a hybrid. He's like a hybrid player. So it's like they were like the first team. I compare them to like how the Rams were. Remember when the Rams came on the scene with Kurt Warner and they started running the score up and shit? Like, that was the first offense I could remember that was like that. And that's kind of like how the Suns were, even though they didn't have the success the Rams had, but that's kind of like the mold I see them in. And Steve Nash was the guy that was running that show. So it's tough. That's why I said we're going to see what you value more, because we could go with Tony Parker with the rings, but he was in a system where he could not lose. Like there was no way those teams were going to lose. So I gave the edge to Nash just based off of that. I think I know where you're going with this one too. Kawhi Leonard or Scottie Pippen?
It's Kawhi. Kawhi.
Agree.
That one really wasn't that hard because Kawhi has proven that he can be the man and take a team all the way. He's shown that. He was the Finals MVP I think the last championship he won with the Spurs.
It was.
And then, of course, he brought Toronto from relative irrelevance all the way to beating the Warriors in the finals. So,
First franchise championship, too.
yeah,
Only
that's
franchise championship.
so despite all of his shenanigans, his off the court bullshit with not being hurt, like I don't have a lot of respect for that stuff. What he did his last championship with the Spurs and then going to Toronto and doing that has forever solidified him as like one of the true greats.
I agree
So
with
yeah,
that.
that's not difficult. But I mean, in terms of like overall game, yeah, the talent level is similar, but elevating a team to a championship,
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen does not have the mentality, never had the mentality to do that.
No. You know, like you said, best player on the championship team. Now I know that's kind of unfair because Scottie Pippen could never be the best player on his team.
Right.
It's, you know, that was kind of, but it is what it is, man. Kawhi Leonard has shown that he could be the best player on the championship team. However people feel about that, you know, that's whatever. So yeah, I got Kawhi too in that one. Damn. Now this one gonna get you. Detlef Strength or Tony Kukoc.
See, most people would say Tony Kukoc, and it wouldn't be like just Tony Kukoc, but because of the name recognition,
Right.
But dude, Detlef Schrempf, like
Detlef Schrempf was
dude, man. Let me tell you about Detlef Schrempf. Just first of all, I think he got overlooked a lot because of Reggie Miller and Rick Smits, the Dutch boy in the paint. But that inside outside thing, his versatility of the things that he could do on the court, how he helped facilitate things.
That's Seattle days, boy. Him and Gary Payton and Sean Kemp.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Detlef on this one, man. Just because I used to love watching me some Detlef Schrempf, but Kukoc again, bad boy. Kukoc is a bad boy. You can even argue that he was the best player on those teams when Jordan wasn't there.
Jordan left. Yeah, facts. Yeah,
because he would actually come in and play at the end of games. He didn't refuse to come into games or anything like that. So
that was a shot at Pip.
I mean, it's a fact. It's a fact.
I like how you threw that in there, though.
I'm just
smooth.
saying.
He actually come in the game.
It's documented fact. Like you can watch the tape. You see
Pip was mad, man. He was mad that the play wasn't drawn up for him, man. What can you say? Like,
right, but which is whatever. We can have a whole separate show about Scottie Pippen because
I got Tony Kukoc at that one, man. Like I like the championship pedigree, man. The championship pedigree, the big moments. I feel like I could trust him. Like Detlef Schrempf, like you say, he's a beast. He was a beast for sure. But I feel like if like I say, I try to mash these up to where you got to pick something about them specifically to put them over the top.
Yep.
It's that championship pedigree for me with Tony Kukoc. The big moment. I think I could trust him in the big moment more than I could trust Detlef.
All right.
Next, Rick Smits and Arvydas Sabonis.
Arvydas. I think it's Arvydas.
Kind of had a feeling he was going there over the Duncan Dutchman.
Yeah. Arvydas. First of all, listen, Rick Smits was a man in Indianapolis. Again, got overshadowed by Reggie Miller. But Rick Smits was, people talk about Reggie Miller calling off for 47 screens to hit a shot. Like Rick Smits was like 32 of those 47 screens, right?
And Dale Davis was the other ones. Antonio Davis.
Yeah, Antonio Davis, Dale Davis. Yeah, you got but like Arvydas Sabonis, and now I'm a little bit biased because I knew a little bit about his career in Europe before he came to the NBA and kind of read and saw some games and how he played. Because we kind of got a shell of Arvydas Sabonis by the time he made it to the league. But just based on what I knew of him and the limited amount of footage that I saw, just the freak athlete that he was. Arvydas Sabonis to this day is probably one of the best passing big men the NBA has ever seen. And again, another one of those guys that kind of gets overlooked and people don't really know how good he was. But he just very much, he almost had this point center type of mentality to how he approached the game and how he orchestrated the offense around him. Just a very unusual player, but had that Euro style. He could go out and hit threes. He could do it all. He really was a blueprint for a lot of these like Dirk Nowitzki's and Luka Doncic's, like that. He was kind of the blueprint for how these big men play. Yeah, Nikola Jokic. That's the blueprint. When you see these guys from Europe come over and do that at 6'10", 6'11", Arvydas Sabonis was the first guy at that size that you really saw doing that. So I gotta tip it to Arvydas.
Same with me. I think you explained. There's nothing else left to say about that one. You explained that pretty well. All the above. Arvydas Sabonis, man. I got him over Rick Smits. It's close though. It's close, but I got Arvydas.
Yep.
This is an interesting one. Jalen Rose or Eddie Jones?
That is extremely difficult. I don't know I'm going to be able to pick one.
That's real tough.
I mean, if I have to pick one, I'm going to go with Jalen Rose, and I'm going to admit that it's Michigan bias.
I was just about to say that. I was like, that sounds like some bias right there.
Because I watched him in college, but I'm biased by I like his style and approach to commentating on basketball now. Like a lot of the takes that he has, I don't agree with all his takes, but
right.
I like the personality that he is and how he presents himself today. Like the image, like he puts together like this very professional, like as a black man, I like to see other black men present themselves in a professional and a polished way.
Right.
And his approach to things. I like that a lot about him. I know that has nothing to do with like on the court stuff, but also I like he's one of the only people in the history of NBA that played 83 games in a season. Like he got traded to a team that had played fewer games and like drove overnight so that he can make the next game.
Right.
Like to me, that is a quality, that is an intangible that is really undervalued, that someone is willing to put in the work to play the game, to fulfill their contracts.
Right.
That's leadership to me. So I'll give the edge, but Eddie Jones again is not to be slept on by any means.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's got to be something to put these guys over the top. Jalen Rose's game was just so smooth. I don't know if it was because he was a lefty. I don't know. It just looked like it looked effortless. Like Jalen Rose is one of those guys. He looked like he playing half speed, but he's so effective. Like to me, he always like he was playing half speed. It's just the wildest shit in the world to me. Like,
yeah,
but it's so effective, and he's doing everything that he wants to do.
Yep.
So to me, like that spoke volumes, man. Jalen Rose was that guy. Yeah, I got Jalen Rose as well. Sorry, Eddie. I like Eddie Jones though, man. I like Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones, like he was Kobe's like mentor, kind of like when Kobe came in the league.
Yeah,
Kobe sat behind him. So shout out to Eddie Jones, man. I know he was a killer too. I just had to pick somebody.
Yep.
I know where you're gonna go with this one.
You've been right every time so far. So
Dwight Howard or David Robinson?
David Robinson. That one's not hard. Not hard at all.
I know he was going there.
It's not hard. When David Robinson, not when he got drafted, when his first season with the Spurs, I think they had like a 30-something game turnaround. They went from winning like 23 games to like 56 games in the first year. Like, I don't think an NBA team has ever had that big of a turnaround in one season. That's the level of impact that he had on the game. Watching him play, like he was the eraser defensive. Like you could not score on David Robinson. It was not until he played Akeem Like if your name was not Akeem Olajuwon, you were not scoring on David Robinson.
Facts.
Like it's just like the Admiral, like was just the eraser defensively.
Easily a top 5 defensive player in NBA history.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah, that's
going out on a limb and saying that.
not even a question. Not even a question. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better defensive center in the history of the NBA than David. It would be hard for me to think of a better defensive center than David Robinson. Like just ridiculous. And
But
we're saying that like he don't have game on the offensive end.
right.
Right.
But some people will argue with you and say Dwight Howard is up there as far as defensive players.
Dwight, now, first of all, I'm going to fully admit that Dwight Howard's name has been soured by recent news we've gotten around what's going on. So I'm going to admit that right off the jump. But again, watching David Robinson as a child, the nostalgia is also working against Dwight Howard a little bit because I adored David. He was one of my favorite players to watch as a child because he also had that squeaky clean image too, right? So he was a great role model to the kids, had some fun commercials. And then like he was the first person where when he would block a shot, he would block it to a teammate. Yeah. Like he's going for a block, but he's also got presence of mind to say, I'm gonna need to block it in this direction so that we can start
that break.
Right. So like that was just having the presence of mind to be playing defense and knowing you're about to block a shot and know what direction to hit it. Like that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, you know, championship pedigree, of course, you know, he needed Tim Duncan to help him get over the hump. Yeah, but again, the West was so stacked in the 90s. Like, can you really blame him?
All true.
But yeah, Dwight Howard, to take nothing away, yes, outstanding defensive player. Clearly, he's the more athletic of the two by far. He was an eraser on the defensive end as well, rebounding machine. But offensively, his game falls far short of David Robinson.
Very limited
offensively. So yeah, I got to give it to David.
That was always my thing with Dwight Howard. I'm like, dude, do you work on your fucking game in the off season? Like, I feel like he just got by strictly off athleticism and instincts, man. Like, it was just like, bro, like, are you gonna add a post game to your game? What about a little mid range, anything? Like,
it was obvious to me watching him play that he was accustomed to being the best player on the floor, but always having someone else to tell him what to do.
Right.
Like you could tell.
Way to put that.
Yeah, you're the best player, but you're always deferring to someone else to lead you. Right. You're not coming out there saying, I'm the man, I'm taking over this fucking game. That was never his approach or mentality to the game at all.
Yeah, so I just like the lack of growth just killed it for me with Dwight Howard. Like I respected his game, especially defensively and, you know, grabbing boards and shit like that. But just like the lack of growth on the other end of the floor is like, come on, man.
Yeah. Plus like free throw shooting, like, dude, there's no excuse for that. And I Shaq, same thing. I light up Shaq about the same thing. Like there's no excuse for you to not be at least a 70% free throw shooter. Like there's no it's not difficult. It's not a hard
entire career to work on it. Like, what are we doing in the off season, guys? Like, what are we really doing?
You're 7 feet tall. You don't even need to have good form to make 7 out of 10 free throws.
I don't give a damn if you bank the free throws in. Hit your free throws, man.
Throw them upside down. Throw them, you know, underhand.
Rick Barry that shit. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
like,
do what you got to do. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, like I just that's a whole nother story. What we got next? Ooh, Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker?
Man.
Oh, look at day one pulling up.
Yeah, I might have to defer to him.
And you right on time.
What's up, one?
My bad. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
My bad. I was making music. Let me.
Don't even worry about it. I got something for you right now. Don't even worry about
it. Am I too loud?
Nah, you good. Don't even worry about it. I got you. Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker? Straight off the top. Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker? Let's go.
Bro,
let's go.
Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker. I'm not gonna argue about that. I'm gonna go with Devin Booker, bro. that was a bad. That was a bad one, bro. I ain't gonna.
It's a
count.
bad
Donovan
one.
Mitchell,
How's it a
it's
bad one?
one? Donovan Mitchell, I feel like he don't show up. He's not it for me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's good. He's a regular season guy. Playoff time, he just disappeared. Devin Booker now is a problem. You feel what I'm saying? And then I love the fact is the way how Devin Booker game, and you don't realize he is the Kobe right now. I might be pushing it a little bit too high, but he is his efficiency and his percentage and everything. People are not paying attention to that. You know what I'm saying? But I got to give it to Devin Booker. It's a big gap. Right. It's a big gap.
Who you got, Ben?
Yeah, Devin Booker. More consistent player. Like I can rely on you to come in here day in, day out and give the other team the business every night. He's going to show up every night. He's going to give the team the business. And the Kobe comparison, it may sound crazy to some, but it doesn't sound crazy to me because his mentality and his approach to the game is very Kobe-esque. Like I'm trying to snatch the soul out of your chest. That's his approach to the game. Like he's going out to just crush your morale.
That's true. I just think, as far as the Kobe thing goes, Kobe was just superior athletically to Devin Booker, and he's stronger. The one thing I noticed about Devin Booker, sometimes you could back him down. Like defensively, he's not strong at the point of attack.
He's not that good at defense.
He can get bullied around on the defensive end. And I noticed that in the finals when they played Milwaukee. I was like, damn, so that's like my one hang up on Devin Booker. But like one said though, like efficiency and he gets to his spots on the floor whenever he wants to. He's getting there and he's scoring. Like there's not much you could do about it.
Are people paying attention what he does to Klay Thompson every time he plays?
he be smoking.
The thing about it is, I'm a Klay fan, but to arguably, literally, like a man is talking smack to you and throwing up that he got 4 rings and you're literally busting his ass. Like,
Devin Booker.
Nothing you can say about it.
Devin Booker is the truth, man. Like people be hating on him, but he the truth though. Like it is what it is.
I rock with D Book, man. I just wish KD wasn't around him. I'm saying
KD's a bad influence on any player he's around.
Y'all niggas, y'all turn this to a KD slander channel.
And for some reason, when people get around KD, they get real zesty, man.
Listen, I can't speak to that. I can't speak to that part.
Come on, man, bro. This man makes fake accounts. It's a known fact. It's being known.
Oh, yeah, he is an internet troll.
He makes fake accounts and he trolls like a girl. Only women does that, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, he's right. You're right about that.
His game is amazing, cool, but the person, the individual, he's a female, bro. I can stand it. I'll say that to
the face, bro. We gotta throw him on that list, CT. Like we were having a conversation earlier about we were telling NBA players to stop being hoes. That's whole behavior right there, being an internet troll. Like very cut that shit out.
Very hoish. I agree with that. But he just one of them guys. It's just in his DNA, man. Bitch shit is in his DNA. He got his salt bathe in his DNA. Like, I mean.
I know Salt Bay is zesty, but it is fun to season your food like this. I just want y'all to try that. Next time you put salt in something do like this, it is fun to do. I just want to throw that out there. Okay, that's
who we got next. Dwayne Wade or Allen Iverson.
Well, we know who you picking.
Oh yeah, I'm skipping this one. Ain't even no need for me to even comment on it. Yeah, he's thinking hard. He had to look up to the sky. Like,
I'm going with Allen Iverson. Because Allen Iverson is one of those get rich or die trying type dudes. Like he'll die before he gives less than 100% effort.
Facts.
Every night. And again, when you talk about like
facts,
when you talk about his effort, the level of effort he puts down, he doesn't care about his body. He doesn't care if he gets hurt. He doesn't care about anything other than winning the game. That's all he cares about. He's not trying to date an actress, right? He's not trying to. He's not involved with any of the other bullshit.
He's not here for the pageantry. He's here to hoop.
right? Look, we
I'm
talking about
about to-
practice. We
I'm
talking
about
about
to say
practice.
some wild shit, bro. I'm about to say something, God forgive
Hey,
me.
go for
Y'all
it.
keep going. Nah, I'm straight, bro.
Uh,
I fought with D-Wade too tough, but sometimes you need to control your woman, bro.
Oh, I already know where you was going with it. Yeah.
Can't be out here. See, this is why women don't respect us, bro. Nowadays, man, you got folks out here allowing their women saying that they eat their ass and shit, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Can't respect that, bro. Ain't with that, man.
Oh, so pack
Oh,
him
Continue.
up.
yeah.
So I already
But
so
continue.
so Allen Iverson basically is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
because
Got it.
I'm gonna put it like this: to each his own. However you rock, how you rock. I mean, I'm not. Once again, I don't disrespect on how you come towards the game and how you play it, but I feel like the NBA robbed players like Allen Iverson and Carmelo because the way how they act and the way how they move. Now, same thing is almost shown with Ja, but the reason why with Ja you're seeing it because of social media. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Mhm,
other
mhm.
players did that too, but I feel
Right.
like a lot of our great players got robbed and being blackballed because they're just being niggas. They're just
Yeah,
being true
yeah.
to them.
I
The
think
tattoos, the swag.
yeah.
Like, why do I gotta come to it? I mean, you know,
I can't even
I love
imagine.
swag,
I can't
but
even imagine an IG live with Allen Iverson in his 20s. Like just think about
boy,
that. He just
ain't into that, bro.
ain't no telling what AI was on his 20s on an IG live like that. Man, shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he definitely
Let's,
benefited from
let's,
being proud of that
let's
era.
talk about his bowling alley incident. We could just go off that. Imagine social
Right.
media was around that time with that.
Yeah, that blew
You know
up
what I'm
even
saying?
crazier
So,
than what it did. Yep.
Yeah,
So
it almost derailed his career without social media, right? So
facts.
yeah.
Facts.
and that's one of the greatest stories that I love hearing about. And the fact is that they all counted him out at Georgetown. They gave him a chance to
Mhm.
show,
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm
John
saying?
Thompson. Shout out to John
So
Thompson. Rest in peace to the legend, man.
rest in
Mhm.
peace,
Yeah.
man. And
You talk
AI,
about a
AI.
maker of men, John
Man.
Thompson.
I would, me personally, when you bring AI in the conversation, it's hard to go against him because he changed the whole dynamic of basketball.
Yeah, I talked
You know what
about
I'm
that
saying?
earlier
The
in the stream.
swag, the
Mhm.
charisma.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
can't tell me nothing, bro.
I talked about that earlier in the
man was
stream. We was talking about favorite players.
pre-gaming, dressed like Fabo in some baggy t-shirts. And, come on, man.
Yeah, big
Giving
chains,
buckets,
all that.
man. Dropping
Got his
30,
MVP
bro.
award with his Scully on. Like, yeah,
Come
this
on,
this a
bro.
real nigga
Practice.
right
We talking about practice, bro.
Not a game. Not a
Cause
Not
game.
game, not the game,
no,
not the game.
he was keeping it 100 too.
Yeah.
If I give you gotta think about it is this. I give the ball to this person, then it goes to this person, then it goes to the next person, then it ends up so happily come back to me. What the fuck you want me to do? Now I'm letting it rip, bro. I'm letting it
Yeah,
rip,
but
bro.
like
I'm not finna. No.
when people give AI a hard time about the practice rant,
Oh, man.
those are people who didn't watch him play.
exactly.
Right. This isn't one of these guys that's on minute restrictions and like, you know, resting, what they call it, management.
Load
What's it called?
management.
Load. AI, he played his heart out every minute of every game for his whole career.
While being
So
banged up too.
yeah, so it's like to question his effort or his intensity on the court or whether he's trying hard to help the team win. That's why he was so pissed at that thing. Like, okay, I missed a practice. Okay,
Right.
I got a broken ankle.
Right.
I gotta
is.
save. I can only manage the pain for so long, so I'm gonna sit off on it. But when it's game time, I'm sucking it up, and I'm gonna go get this 40.
It's just the swag,
And then I'm
bro.
missing
It's
practice
the
tomorrow
swag.
because my ankle is broken.
Right.
It's the swag, man. He brought something to basketball what basketball needed. It's the swag. It's the swag to the game. And be honest, I really think, me personally, I don't think he's 6 feet. I really think he's 5'11". With shoes on. And we gotta be honest. All them big men, everybody, this is how smoothly he just.
It's been a topic of debate. It's been a topic. His height has been a topic of debate
my
for a
man's
long
not 6
time.
feet. My man's is 5'11". He's the same height as me, bro.
And nobody ever really like
Come on,
confirmed his height ever either. So I mean, that's one of them basketball mysteries,
My
man.
man's the same height as Kemba Walker, bro.
That sounds like some of that Charles Barkley stuff where he's listed as 6'6", but he's
But
really
we know
6'4".
damn well, yeah, that's true. That's facts.
But
we know
he was
Charles
grabbing
Barkley is not
20
6'6".
rebounds a game against Hakeem and David Robinson and everybody else.
Houston niggas. Yeah. So next up, what we got: Anthony Edwards or Jaylen Brown.
Oh, Anthony Edwards easily.
I don't know. I don't know enough about Anthony Edwards' game to rate him fairly.
You might want to go watch that, my boy.
But
yeah, nigga had a
if
horrible
you're-
shooting game last night. I tell you that. shit.
Hey,
if you're putting him in the same bucket as Jaylen Brown, I got to give him props automatically. So
It's a debatable one though.
listen,
It depends on how you. It depends on. It's more like a preference thing, I think, with those two.
one thing I hope for sure. I'm not a Grizzly fan, but I tell Free this all the time, bro. If Ja can get a Zion or a Edwards right next to him, I have to see that. I have to see one of those combinations. It's one of those got to happen, bro. I'm telling
Edwards.
y'all, bro.
Anthony Edwards, man, I like his game, and I think I'd take him over Jaylen Brown just for the simple fact that he has a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
His ceiling is higher. You know, I think Jaylen Brown is who he's going to be right now for the rest of his career until he starts declining. You know what I mean?
I don't think people peep yesterday's game, and I'm telling people right now, man, watch and see. I do not feel like Jaylen Brown is going to be, if Porzingis is healthy, I really do not see him being the second scorer of that team. I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem. It's going to become a problem.
If last night is any indication, which I'm sure, I mean, because we can't really trust Kristaps Porzingis' health at the end of the day. Like we already know, like at some point he gonna go down with some type of injury and miss a chunk of game. So, but if last night is any indication of how the season is gonna go, I could see somebody saying that. I could see somebody saying, of course, Jaylen Brown's production is gonna drop a little bit because Porzingis was cooking, but you know it's one game, so we gotta pump the brakes and let that play out.
I got money on it. Last year, Porzingis played. He wasn't that much injured last year, bro. People don't give credit for that.
He was pretty healthy last year.
Yeah,
he played about 60-something games last year.
Now he don't got to do too much. I'm telling you,
he could pick. He could pick a spot. So I'm guessing you got Jaylen Brown over Anthony Edwards, Ben.
I'm gonna say no answer just because it's not fair to Anthony Edwards because I haven't seen him play enough to rate him.
Got you. All right. Let's see. Oh, I think I know where y'all gonna go with this too. Ja Morant or De'Aaron Fox?
Ooh, I heard that trying to fix the light. I heard that trying to fix the light,
we talked about this earlier. Ja Morant is not close to me.
Ooh, not close.
Talent wise, very close. But Ja Morant is one of those players that when he's on the floor, he dictates what the other 9 players on the court are doing.
Yep.
Just his individual impact on the game, just his presence on the court. He has an impact that very few players in the NBA have. Now, which one would I not want to have to defend? De'Aaron Fox, because you can't stay in front of him at all.
You can't stay in front of him at all, literally.
At all.
And in clutch time, more than likely he hitting it.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole season last year, like I think they had like some shit like with the new award, like the clutch player of the year or some shit like that. He won that by far. Like,
yeah,
De'Aaron Fox is a killer, man, for sure.
You know what I think would have probably been a better matchup? Putting Shai and Fox.
I like Shai better than Fox though.
But that would have been a better argument because I just feel like his stretch is.
Man, you
put too many around him, bro. You just can't.
You'd be surprised, man. It's a lot of people. I watch a lot of people's videos and breakdowns of players, and a lot of people would pick De'Aaron Fox over Ja Morant. I've seen that, so that's kind of why I matched them together the way I did. So I've seen a lot of people pick De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, but people are idiots, Justin. I mean, they don't know what they're talking about. People just they just regurgitate points that they hear other talking heads on TV make. They don't sit down and actually watch the games and come up with their own opinions of things.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that too. I've spoken on that for years. Like motherfuckers watch ESPN and just
right,
be rambling,
end all be all type shit. But yeah, I got one more.
All right,
Brandon Ingram, Zach LaVine.
Oh, I got my pick.
That's a good one.
BI for me. BI for me, bro. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Brandon Ingram.
Yeah,
I
Me
think
too.
that he is a better. He fits better within a team philosophy and a team game than Zach LaVine does,
Yes, sir.
and he's a
Absolutely.
more reliable, dependable player on both ends.
Yeah,
Don't get a lot of
But
credit for it too.
at all.
yeah,
Don't get a lot of
and
credit.
he's a bucket getter. Like he's
Who
underrated,
is
but
he?
he is a bucket getter.
He gave us a few last night. I ain't
Listen, I'm still mad to this day that how the hell they wanted Kuzma. You wanted to keep Kuzma.
Yeah, that's
Lakers.
wild. Yeah, that's wild. They kept Kuzma
Out of
over Brandon Ingram.
out of
Yeah,
anybody, they wanted Lonzo and Kuzma. And
that's
you
wild.
gave BI.
Bi is a beast, man. Like that midi, that he got like one of the top 5 middies in the game. Like his mid range is ridiculous.
Nasty. No backboard hitting, straight
Nothing.
cash.
I'm talking about fake hand right here. He hitting it.
He got that KD bag, that Arsenal win. Just
Yeah,
the way how their shot is set up, it's
Smooth.
hard for you to block it or
right.
Yeah.
do anything to it.
You could
bro.
contest
It's
that shit as
hard.
much as you want. Either he gonna make it or he gonna miss it. It's not because of you. Trust me.
That's a fact.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram, man. He's one of my favorite players in the league, honestly, man. Like, I just love watching him play. I ain't love watching him play last night while they was kicking our ass, but
You know where BI from, bro.
oh
You know
man,
what school he came out of, bro.
you a
Yeah,
Duke
heard
fan?
it.
Both of y'all Duke
Stop
fans?
it, bro.
Of course.
You know that, bro.
Both
What?
of y'all Duke. I just realized
Man,
both of y'all Duke fans.
The only Duke player I do not like is Jason Tatum, bro. He made me dislike him, bro. I just don't. It's the only player to ever come out of Duke. I just don't like his.
That's
So-
wild. I didn't even put that together that y'all both was Duke fans. That's wild.
Well, see, the thing is, though, being a Duke fan, people automatically assume that you're just like bandwagon. Oh, you just picked that team because they were winning.
Nope.
No, I started following Duke in the early '90s because
Trajan Langdon? No, Trey. That was before. That's
Antonio
That
Lang.
was,
okay.
that was even boring yet, bro.
So yeah, that was before Trajan. So Antonio Lang was part of the first 2 championships that they won in the early '90s. He graduated from my high school. He's from
Okay.
Alabama. So I started following Duke. That was the first college team I paid any attention to because
Mhm.
a guy from my high school was playing on the team, and that's why I started watching. I've been a fan ever since.
You know what my
So-
favorite you ain't gotta think too hard, man. We won our first national championship on Duke in 1999.
Yeah, y'all don't got that much though.
You crazy. We just won another one. You want another one this year?
Sound good.
You
Sound
want
good.
you want us
Sound
to go
good.
back to back?
Don't hype yourself up, bro.
You want us to go back to back? I mean, this Connecticut shit.
Name
Like, we could-
me a lot of UConn greatest players that's over than Duke. I give you
Who is
Grant
the
Hill.
best? Who
I
is the
give you
best
Grant
Duke player?
Hill.
Who the
I
best
give-
Duke player to ever enter the NBA? Probably Grant Hill, right?
Grant
That's
Hill.
tough as
Probably
too
Grant
many.
Hill.
So-
Grant Hill is
A-
the best NBA player to come out of Duke.
A Duke starting 5 against a UConn starting 5. I'm taking us. Period. Like
That sound good. All right.
This is
Ray
Yeah.
Allen, Rip Hamilton.
Yeah, all right.
Who else we got?
That man crazy, bro.
That boy.
No way.
That would make a good show. That
trying
would
to
make a
think.
good show
I'm trying to think who
Yo.
ause I would put in that lineup. We'll talk about it though.
because
make
we
sure
got
you
Grant Hill.
Put this shit on for next week, bro. Make sure.
Oh, yeah,
you
let's do that
please
next week.
do
Yeah,
this
let's
next
do it next
bro.
week. And gather your
Come
notes
on.
up
I
and
got
let's
my
get it.
top. I gather my top 5 versus yours. I won't even talk to you about it, bro. I'll bring my top 5. to
Say
the
less.
table, bro.
Say that we're gonna do it next
Make
week
this mano y mano against me and you, bro.
for sure.
Oh,
Okay.
I ain't even got to
No
show
way,
up then.
bro. Yeah, I got you, bro. Don't even worry about it, bro.
We gonna get to it. Don't even worry about it. And don't use Jason Tatum since you hate him too, nigga.
Oh, he don't gotta come in there, bro. The
Leave that
Arsenal was
nigga out of it.
crazy.
Keep
The
him out.
Arsenal
Keep
was-
him away. We don't want to see him.
was crazy. And you just gotta let me
Yeah,
know
that's
what we
a good-
measuring it by, bro.
That's a good show though. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shit. We've been on shit an hour and 33.
Yeah, I
Little-
can't wait
It's a
to
good
the
show.
party, man.
yes, sir.
And we already got a topic
Yeah.
for next week, so works out.
Yeah.
I know you
Sure.
wasn't here at the beginning, but what's your one takeaway from the first 2 nights of the season? What's your biggest takeaway? Like, what stood out to you the most out of these first 2 nights?
Anthony Davis is trash as fuck. That's one. That's definitely one.
Feel like you was here. I mean, welcome home, my nigga.
Garbage.
Like,
Listen, bro. I'll be honest. It just is what it is. Everybody need to let it go. It's over with. It's a wrap. Pack it up. LeBron, that Lakers show shit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like I told you, Free. I know it's the first game. Yeah, cool. But you can't talk all that smack in the offseason. Talking about we waiting this. Listen, I ain't trying to hear all that shit. And then you drop 17. And then you drop 17 in the first half and 0. You proceeded for the third and the fourth quarter, 0 points.
Against the guy you was talking shit about in the offseason.
And I'm gonna say this too. Me personally, the way how I really feel for them to leave LeBron at 29 minutes, and that's the first time ever in his career. Me personally, I don't know if anybody gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. And I'm not saying it because LeBron is one of my favorite players. The Lakers are done with LeBron, bro. They are thinking about their future. So people not getting it. That shit is over, bro. They not gonna. They most likely they're just giving him his respect because it's LeBron. But the Laker organization is known for being shiesty, doing things behind the cut, being little Snoopies, this and that. That's why Magic didn't last that long over there because what they got going on. Listen to me right now, man. LeBron is not the dog no more. No, none of that. Making no calls. The Lakers are off LeBron, bro. That trying to get that ring and that shit, yeah, it sound good, but stop it, bro.
That's an interesting perspective, man.
Just go ahead, go ahead and just like I told myself, and I done made peace. It's over with, bro. It was a good career. It was fun. Now let's just see you have fun for the rest of these years with Bronny and Bryce. I mean, not said Bronny and Bryce, but Bryce and yeah, but it is what it is, bro. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. It's done. I mean, he's about to be 39, bro. It's clip, bro.
We'll see how the season play out, but
one, you weren't here when we talked about it, but I did point out that he was on a minutes restriction, and my take was LeBron. Basically, you look at his comments, what he said about it. He's setting up the organization to be a scapegoat if they start losing.
Exactly.
Right. So. But like you said, I mean, that's a really interesting take.
Bro, I'm telling you guys, bro, it's done, bro. Like when I say it's done it's already set up to sit there and figure out something new because you got to look at it the same way with the Kobe perspective. They messed up focusing on Kobe so much towards the end because granted, he did a lot for that organization.
Nah, I know what you're saying.
They messed up everything focusing on Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Gave him the bag and he got injured and stuff. There's nothing that we could do about it. But come on, bro. They're doing that to Bron. You feel me? But what can you say? I would have never gave Ed Davis that bag.
No, I definitely
like
that's where they fucked up at. Like they gave Anthony Davis all that money knowing damn well he's not gonna play a quarter more than 3/4 of the season. Like just that shit just made no sense. Now they got this big ass contract that they're not gonna be able to get out of. Who's gonna trade? I mean, unless I don't even know what you can get.
That could be set up for something like, let's say, for example, he's from Chicago. The Chicago Bulls will bite on that at any moment, at any time. It don't even matter what they got going on. There's always been like erupts and stuff like that with Chicago. I think Chicago will be one of the teams that will most likely probably bite on it. I don't know for sure that they will.
Who they getting rid of? Levine and DeRozan, both of them?
But I'm saying that's been the biggest topic of discussion this offseason. I'm gonna tell you, DeRozan is not going to be on that team next year. For sure.
Probably they got to break that. That's a whole nother story. The Bulls got to break that whole shit that they got going on up. None of that shit is working. Yeah, they got to break that up.
So
yeah, I don't know how the salaries will work, but for you to move a player like Anthony Davis, you need an organization. You need an organization that's kind of dumb that wants to make a big splash. And to me, that smells like Daniel Gilbert and the Cleveland Cavaliers to me.
But I mean,
so I don't know how the salaries will work, but
that'd be hard to match that too. That'd be hard to match that up too, because I know damn well they're not trading Donovan Mitchell, so that's not gonna happen. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't know what they would do as far as salaries matching, but that's an interesting take too, though. Like
it would be one of those like fire sales where they send like 5 players over there and
Harris LeVert and some other niggas.
If people know Bron and excuse me, watched over his years, yeah, You had Bosch, you had Kevin Love. They were both inconsistent as hell. You know what I'm saying? So it was always the guard that he had, a D Wade or the Kyrie, that was his. Like we're not gonna sit here and say like Kevin Love wasn't that guy when he was in
Right.
Timberwolves. I mean, granted, he had to do it because he was the only one, but
Right.
Bosch in Toronto. But when they came down with Braun, it's just if you're not like a guard type, can move with the ball by yourself. I mean, you end up showing up, not showing up. Listen,
Right.
man, he's trash, bro. Pack it up, bro. It's over with. Joker run shit, bro. This is what it is. You ain't Giannis and you ain't Joker because they both be violating Anthony Davis. So
Yeah.
Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid in the same boat in my page.
I'm just excited to see how this season play out, man. I know, everybody got the knee-jerk reactions to the first couple games and shit. I just want to see about where we are about 20 games in, see how everybody feel it, man. So this is gonna be an interesting ass season, to say the least. OKC, yeah, they look good. They look good. A few teams look good yesterday. Like I said, man, it's gonna be real interesting, man. So any final thoughts you guys got, man, before we shut it down for the night?
Oh, sir.
No, I'm good. We said it all. I'm looking forward to the conversation next week. I think it's gonna be a hot one.
We in here, bro.
One is all over Duke already. So
Justin, no, I'm a study. He know I'm a study.
I'm like, do I have to pick like
My
UNC
line
or something? Like
y'all could tag team. This shit don't matter. Y'all can get this is gonna be a handicap match. I know you fuck with wrestling. This could be a handicap match. Like, I'm with the shits all the way. Like,
let Ben come in with his starting five too. I mean, respectfully, I'm gonna come with mine, but you gotta remember we coming from different eras.
It's different eras.
He might got different bags.
Shit, but the best players from Duke are like the 90s on, so it ain't really like you know what I mean.
I'm not a 90s on. I'm gonna more so pull out Zion and stuff like that. Like
that nigga.
Zion.
Is he gonna be at the game? Is he gonna be at the game? That's all I want to know. Like, is he gonna be fucking with hoes? Is he gonna be hurt? What he gonna do? Like,
gonna be playing with porn stars? We don't know, bro.
Okay, I'm just checking. I'm just checking.
We gotta know how we gonna direct this argument and what we doing. Are we doing it how they did it in college or overall? Just what's the angle we're coming from?
All right, for sure. I hit y'all with the with the text about that. So
okay, yeah.
So we locked in for next week.
For sure.
As always, like, share, subscribe. This is another beautiful night of talking basketball. Fly Free Sports, man. Be back next Thursday with the slaughter of Duke.
I should. You know what's so crazy is you talking all that smack. But we got a song called Blue Devils that you on.
Oh no, that shit fire.
You gonna make me. It's a reason.
You can put it out, bro. That shit fire. Like,
you know what I'm saying, bro. We can already just go ahead and torch Duke. You know what I mean? Not to torch UConn for that, bro.
I can't argue with you on the song, man. You got a CT nigga on it though. So I mean, hey. Catch 22,
man.
So I guess we're not going to talk about like championship comparisons or anything like that. We're not going to like.
I mean, we can do all that. Like we got enough chips now. Like, we just won one. So I mean, recency bias say, hey.
Y'all coach can't rock with Coach K, bro. Come on, bro. Let's stop. None of y'all coaches.
Jim Calhoun is a legend. Watch him out about Jim Calhoun, bro.
We talking about Coach K. Olympic champ too. They didn't call your coach, they called ours. But
Jim Calhoun a legend. He in the Hall of Fame. He in the Hall of Fame, right? Jim Calhoun in the Hall of Fame, right?
They call Coach K.
Jim Calhoun in the Hall of Fame, right?
They call Coach
that's
K.
That's all I want to know.
Coach K. They call him to coach the NBA.
In less time too. In less time, like in less time. Coach K coached for like 65 years and Duke. Like,
no, we're not looking for
pack him up. Pack him up, bro. This nigga was coaching when my mom was born. Like,
that's crazy, bro. That's out of pocket.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Signing off. Fly Free Sports.
Yeah.